Now everybody stand up and rejoice with one voice.
Since 9/11, we have heard numerous speeches by politicians and numerous publications denouncing radical Islam. This is a lie. Let me explain. As you see here, every chapter of the Quran begins with the same words. In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. Personally, I don't see a lot of grace or mercy coming from these homicidal maniacs. Obviously, they do not worship the Allah of the Quran. Personally, I think they worship Kali, the Hindu goddess of death and destruction. Or maybe they're just too busy causing death and destruction to worship anything. By the way, a commentator once talked about the Muslims and their monkey god. Quoting from the second chapter, the 133rd verse of the Quran, "Were you witnesses when death appeared before Jacob? Behold, he said to his sons, Who will you worship after me? They said, We shall worship thy God and the God of thy fathers, of Abraham, Ishmael, and Isaac. To him we bow." So obviously, the Allah of the Quran is the same as the Yahweh of the Old Testament. Now you see, that's why I don't do hate. Hate makes you do dumb stuff. You just saw a perfect example. So you see, our contempt should be directed not at a religion, but at the murderers and blasphemers who commit atrocities and claim they are doing it in the name of God. Let me ask you a question. Suppose after World War II, when the Italian government and military were in shambles, the Mafia had gathered up the deposed military and government personnel and formed the Catholic states of Italy and Sicily. CSIS. How do you think France, Spain, and the other European countries would have acted? Do you think American politicians and commentators would have railed against radical Catholicism? How would American Catholics have felt about this? Now you know how the vast majority of Muslims who are not homicidal maniacs feel about our tirades. Actually, that's pretty much what happened in Iraq. After America invaded Iraq and defeated Saddam and his army, we removed all of Saddam's Ba'ath Party, which was mainly Sunnis, and replaced them with Shiites. Did we really expect the deposed Baathists to go home and tend to their goats? The Sunni Baathists were not about to take orders from the Shiites they had been treating like dirt for many years. So they went next door and formed ISIS. The rest is history. Let me give you another example. Suppose I walk into a shopping mall on the day after Christmas, the busiest shopping day of the year. I pull out an assault rifle and start mowing down the shoppers. After I am subdued by the SWAT team, they find my video where I claim I did it to protest the commercialization of Christmas. Does that make me a righteous Christian crusader or a wacko nut job? I vote wacko nut job. I'm sure almost all Christians would agree with me. It's the same with ISIS, Al-Qaeda, and the other wacko nut jobs. Let me ask you another question. When you read about my exploits, does that make you want to run right out and join my church? So much for their claims about fighting for the glory of Islam. Now I have nothing but admiration for our young people delivering justice to these assassins. But all we are doing with our military is playing whack-a-mole. Defeat them in Afghanistan, they pop up in Libya. Defeat them in Libya, they pop up in Yemen. Defeat them in Yemen, they pop up in Nigeria. The insanity has even spread to the Philippines. They will not be truly defeated until we defeat their facade of religious righteousness and expose them for what they really are, the Nazis of the 21st century.